So check this, real estate buyers in China flooding the U.S. housing market with more than $6 billion last year, more purchasers than any other country. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis outraged as his state is among the most popular for those foreign buyers.
These companies have ties to the CCP, and it's not always apparent on the face of whatever a company is doing. But I think it's a huge problem. I've signed legislation to crack down on undue influence from rogue states, including the CCP. But we want to make sure that we're cutting ties so that we're not funding our number one adversary.
Here to react, Sunday Morning Futures anchor Maria Bartiromo. Maria, what should we be doing here?
Hey, Lawrence, good morning to you and good morning, team. Look, Ron DeSantis is absolutely right. We've heard this umpteen times, not just from past administrations and the FBI, but also from business leaders. The CCP wants to overtake the United States as the number one superpower. And they're in it for the long term. They buy property, they buy companies with an eye toward the future. Overtaking the United States as the number one superpower is the ultimate goal. So Ron DeSantis should be worried. The FBI is worried. There is a report right now that the FBI believes that Huawei telecom equipment can actually capture and disrupt U.S. military communications. This acquisition of real estate in Florida follows a whole host of other acquisitions. Just recently, we learned that the CCP has bought farmland in North Dakota, again, near an Air Force base. What is the point here? The point is, in fact, just that, to disrupt military operations, to have surveillance operations on the U.S. military. That is why under the Trump administration, we saw a string of indictments related to surveillance in America. Everybody from the head of the chemistry department at Harvard, who was selling information and Harvard research to the CCP, and he was getting paid for it personally, to somebody at the NYPD, embassy staff. All of this was very clear during the Trump administration because of a very aggressive DOJ to stop that. Unfortunately, America needs a leader who understands this, who doesn't call the CCP a competitor, but instead an adversary, exactly what it is. Joe Biden has shown no evidence that he understands the threat of the CCP. Unfortunately, he came to office and did everything that Xi Jinping wanted him to do. No pushback on what the origins of COVID-19 are. No pushback on fentanyl coming into America. No pushback on intellectual property. In fact, just intellectual property theft. In fact, just the opposite. He actually eliminated the China Initiative, which was the initiative that the DOJ was indicting people who were stealing intellectual property. By the way, costing American companies $600 billion a year at a minimum. We're talking about this morning. Why is it that we have not heard one hearing in the Congress over this? Not one.
Sure.
Okay, Kevin McCarthy is going to come on the show today. I want to ask him what's wrong with Republicans. Why aren't we seeing more action against the CCP and its efforts against this terrible agenda? What can the GOP do right now with now 106 days away from the midterm elections? We're getting into it this morning also with Ro Khanna, California congressman. He is going to answer the question of who is taking responsibility for the failed climate change agenda, which has caused inflation and incredible new costs for America. And then, of course, there is the issue in plain sight, and that is Joe Biden's mental capacity. Dr. Ben Carson is here to talk about, on top of all of the gaffes and the missteps, what COVID-19 means for our commander-in-chief. And then there's Kari Lake, running for governor in Arizona. She's going to be here to talk about all the issues concerning Arizona, in particular, the wide-open border, another dereliction of duty of this administration. I'll see you in 15 minutes, guys.
Sounds like a jam-packed show, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. AM, actually. Thanks, Maria.